The only thing that could come into your head as a man that just lost a friend is to start chasing the wife. In less than 6 months that he left, this young man started chasing after me, despite being married. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra if you're just seeing me for the first time, and I am based in Awka, Anambra State, Nigeria. To all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back to come and watch me. To those that have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly click the subscribe button. And to those that are new to my channel, welcome to my space. So you guys, today's haul is just going to be something like a talk, you know. Let's talk, let's discuss, let's talk about something that has been going on in my life, the little experiences I had, life of a widow, life as a widow, living without your husband, and what you have to battle with. This adage simply means that a broom is not important in the night. You can see a broom at night and just kick it out and kick it to the side, but in the morning it's still the same you that kicked that broom at night that will go to look for it. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that a husband is the crown of a woman. I am one of those people that loved my husband and respected him. Despite the fact that I got married as a teenager, I enjoyed my marriage with my husband. I had so much fun with him. It was such a good time together, despite being just for a short period of time, but it was like my entire life. Honestly, you guys, it was just like my entire life. And one of the things I battled is what I'm here to share with you guys. Immediately my husband left, I want to talk to some Igbo brother-in-laws, some brother-in-laws, and I also want to talk to some men out there. Honestly, men, stop taking advantage of young widows. Yes, I am saying this because I had this experience with my husband's friend. He's a friend to my husband. I would say, I will call him a friend and I'll call him a business partner. In one of my recent videos, I talked about young girls, young widows or single mothers that are dependent on other people. I was talking out of experience. Whatever thing you see me share on this channel is something I have experienced and something that has to do with my life. Honestly, I don't just come here and share people's story or something. I share something that has to do with my life. And I am sharing it just to encourage other people too. This young man started, he started with funny actions of maybe coming to check up on us, coming to see how we're faring and all of that. But it all started when the rent expired. I could not pay. It was obvious. I could not pay. I could not renew the rent because the only business that was supposed to give me money for me to pay was taken over. That being forgiven, forgotten, and in the past now. It was taken over by people that did not level. I could no longer afford to pay for the rent, so I started seeking for support from family, friends, and all of that. Just because I thought we could remain back there in Lagos. Because my children, they were going to school in Lagos. Every other thing was in Lagos. But I could no longer renew the rent, so I decided to seek for support. So I went to this young man. He is married with children. I went to this young man and I told him the predicament. It all started when he now comes to visit, how do I put it, often than usual, right? Is that the correct English? I think so. So he now comes to visit often than usual, and when he comes, he stays late and all of that. And me, I was becoming uncomfortable with that kind of visit. You come and you don't go home past 10, you're still there. What are you doing? I was just a young widow, and people, I am an Igbo woman, and in Igbo land, there is this eye that people put on widows. As in, there is this searchlight that people flash on widows. When you are a widow in Igbo land, especially a young widow, people put this searchlight on you, all their eyes on you, like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's exactly the stage I was that time. Everybody, every single action you take, people tend to find a fault. People tend to see one thing or another to talk about. in those actions. But then I did not want anything that will get people talking. I was trying to avoid whatever it is that will get anybody talking, especially with the fact that my brother and sisters-in-laws, everybody lives almost in the same area in Lagos. So I didn't want them to start talking. But this young man will come and won't just go. And you know that kind of a thing. I was still naive then. Assuming it's now, I'll simply tell him, please, it's time for you to go. We want to sleep. Yes. But then I was in the lowest time of my life. I was down. Emotionally, I was down I was down all round. So I could not even stand telling him anything. And the fact that he comes to render little helps and all of that. So my children see him as a brother, as a father, you know, because they, especially Danny knows him to be Daddy's friend. Okay, so seeing him come to the house and staying late, I was uncomfortable, but I could not tell him to stop coming and staying late. Okay, I was no longer a kid at that point. Yes, of course, that was about 6 years ago. I was no longer a baby. When a man looks at you with something in his mind, you should know. And when a man looks at you, makes advances at you, you should know. Indirectly, you should know. At that stage of my life, I already know when a man is making indirect advances at me. So I already saw it that he was up to something, but I was not sure, and I didn't want to conclude, and I didn't want to be faster than my shadow. Yes. So I was being careful with that, with my actions, with my words, and every other thing. But one thing I didn't let him do, he comes into the house, goes into the kitchen, goes into every other part. But one thing I didn't let him to do is to come into my bedroom. That's my room with my husband. So he goes into the children's room, he goes into the other room, but I didn't allow him to come into my bedroom because I was being careful. My in-laws visit me then unexpectedly. You just see them, they visit you without invitation and all of that. That is for you to understand the level of, how do I put it, searchlight they put on me and every young widow. I've had this discussion with a couple of other widows and they are actually experiencing the same thing, okay? So I say that this is what we experience in this part of the world, in Africa. So this young man kept on coming and coming, and at a point, I could no longer hold it, honestly. I had to start behaving somehow. When he comes, my actions, my face, everything will tell him that you are not welcomed here. So he stopped coming to the house. And because I do visit his house because of his wife and children, a day came when something happened and I had to call on him for help, for support, that the rent is about to expire and I can no longer pay the rent. That was when he now came out open to tell me that I thought you were playing hard to get. I thought you were playing a hard woman. I thought you were playing too difficult and too confident and all of that. These were his exact words. That I was forming hard to get, I was forming too difficult. We are talking about barely 6 months that I went into this journey of widowhood. Barely 6 months. What in God's name do you expect from such a young widow that is still down? Sometimes I'll be crossing the major road, I'll forget that I have my child on my back. I'll forget that this is a major road, I won't even run. On several occasions, people have come to bring me out of the express. Because I was lost in thoughts. I was lost. I was not concentrating. Honestly, I don't want to dwell so much on this because it's coming up into my head. But then this young man told me all of this, and the next thing he asked me to sleep with him, just for him to help. Honestly, when I remember this story, I laugh, but then it was not funny to me. It was something that kept me crying. It was just like I lost my husband that day. That was the day I realized that I lost my husband, because this is something that I don't even need to remind my husband that, and he would do it. Like things like rent and all of that, we don't remind him. He does them because he sees them as his responsibilities. Okay, so I at that point I realized I had lost a man. At that point I realized I had lost a father. At that point I realized I had lost my caretaker. At that point, honestly, it was just like magic to me. This man asked me to sleep with him, gave me a hotel address where I was going to come and meet him, just because I asked him for help. And this is somebody I see as a friend to my husband. At that point, I just knew it that men, some men, not all men, because I've come across a couple of other men that did not even take a second look at me in that area, and they still helped you and move on. Honestly, there are some men like that. But this particular person was the least, person I expected to, you know, think such a thing or even do such a thing. But this is the world we live in. He actually did that. And because of the kind of friendship I have with his family, I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who to tell. There was no way I can walk up to the wife and start telling her something like this. I don't want to break up someone's home. But I was disappointed at that point. I was just so disappointed. I didn't know what to think at that point. The only thing I did was to start avoiding every other person. I started avoiding the wife. I started avoiding the husband. I started avoiding every single person. And even when I relocated to the village, I didn't tell any of them. I just left. I just relocated. And I just left Lagos State and I went back to the village. First, I moved my children, and the next thing, I went back. So it's just so painful to see that majority of the men out there, they can't even help people. Like I said before in one of my videos, not all food be food, though. Not be all food be food. How do I put it? This video is making me go emotional. This video is making me think crazy, go crazy. Like right now, I feel like I'm no longer in the mood to film this video because I had a lot of things jotted down that I was supposed to talk about in this video, but at this point I can't even talk about them because but the truth remains that, please, if you are a man and you come across a young widow or any woman at all, you must not sleep with the woman before you help them. Please. A lot of other widows I've come across, I've discussed with, they have fallen victim of this kind of a thing just because they need this help. Everybody is not strong enough. They need this help. They need it to support their family. They need it to feed their children. Help them if you can. You must not sleep with them. You must not take advantage of them. Honestly, it is wrong. And this one coming from somebody I hold with so much respect, it was disappointing. Though he has come to apologize, confessed to his wife, come to apologize. The wife is the woman that, how do I put it? My wedding mother. She was much older than I am. So at a point, the man became born again to the level that he confessed to the wife, called me to apologize and all of that. He is a chosen member. I don't know if people know this chosen charismatic, yes. After the apology and all of that, I was invited to Lagos and everything was settled. But believe me, it was painful. And so sorry to announce that this said young man is late now. He died recently. It's about 3 years that he died. So, but it's a story I've had in my mind that I didn't even know how to share the story. But recently I spoke with the wife about it and we just talked about it and we laughed about it, and she was like, you can feel free and share your story. I don't have any problem with that. I am sharing this story to inspire some young widows. I know a lot of us, we find ourselves in situations where we are left with no option than to do those kind of things just because we need to feed our children or take care of situation of things. But please, I'm begging the men, especially the young men, the men especially, if you call yourself a friend, you don't betray a friend even when they are dead. You don't betray them just because of what your body language is telling you. At that point, it was still too tender for me to even think about such a thing in my head without me knowing that someone out there is by the side admiring me and thinking about that kind of a thing. It is wrong. Honestly, I didn't want this video to be too long. It's just something I just want to come out here and share and, you know, encourage people that are in their downtime, young widows that are in their downtime, and single mothers that are in their downtime. Please don't give in to such. It is going to affect your life. Okay, let's look at this. Imagine if I had given in to the man's proposal and he repented and then confessed to his wife. and told the wife that I actually accepted and that he actually had his way with me. What face will I use to see that woman again? But do you know that at this point, as we speak, she is Danny's godmother. The woman I'm talking about is Daniel's godmother. On Danny's birthday, she sends gifts. Every single time she sends things, she supports everything that has to do with Danny with all her life. And that made her have so much respect in me. Listen, it's not just all about the moment, what you're going to gain at that moment, what you stand to gain at that moment. Also think about what will happen after that time. What is going to happen after that time? What if, in the process, they cut us? No, me, I don't know why I have this problem. I have this as a problem. I always think about, what if this happened? What if that happened? What if? I have that problem of what if. What if this happens? What if they had cut us? What if I did it and just to get that help at that point, because he was capable of even paying for that rent without stress. But what if I had accepted giving in, and till today I'll be living with that guilt, that I was still wearing my white, I was still mourning, and I went as far as sleeping with my husband's friend just because I needed help. Honestly, it's just so crazy, but I have to end this video right now because if I keep talking, I may say a lot of other things. But believe me, that made that woman to have so much respect for me, so much respect for me, that at this point, she is one of my engine rooms. She is so supportive. She is, and as a matter of fact, I know she's going to be watching this video, and honestly, she has been so supportive. Despite being a widow herself, but she has been so supportive in every area of my life. So imagine if I had just sold that respect, if I had traded that respect she had for me just because of what I was facing, the pressure that life has put on me. So please do not let any pressure, do not let life put you through so much pressure to the level that you trade your dignity as a woman, or trade your respect as a woman, or sell your personality just because of what life has thrown at you. There is this saying that if life gives you lemon, make lemonade out of it. I am one of those people that face challenges with men and still facing challenges with men on a daily basis. You encounter them. When your husband is no longer there, just like your crown has been taken away, men see you as national cake. Especially when you are not doing anything. When you are less busy. Let me put it like that. When you are less busy, they see you as national cake. Anybody can come and cut, because that glory, that crown covering you is no longer there. That is why I made that adage that a broom is not important in the night, but in the morning you will look for that broom. No matter how your husband is, treasure him, love him. He is your crown. Sarah said, I worshipped my husband. Sarah called Abraham Lord until her last days. If you find that man that you're looking at, maybe you guys quarrel every day, or maybe one or two things happen on a daily basis, and you guys have this misunderstanding, and which is normal in a relationship or in a marriage. Any day you find that man and he's no longer there, that is the day you will understand what I'm saying in this video. That is the day you will realize. Remember I mentioned it that at that point when he asked me to sleep with him just because he is going to support me with the rent, that was the moment I realized that my crown is no longer there. Because all this while he has been coming to the house, who born him? He will not even have the mouth to even look at me somehow right before my husband, let alone saying such a thing. But because now that crown is no longer there, that is what gave him the guts, the audacity, the impetus to say that. That is what I believe. So if your marriage is not abusive, just that you have normal husband and wife misunderstanding, please secure your home. Let that man live long for you. Any day you find him and you don't see, even the oldest widows I know. So this is my friend that lost her father, so I went to see them, and after a while I went back there again, and the mother was sharing stories, good memories that she had with her husband. The woman I'm talking about is 79. Her husband died at 92. And a 79 years old woman is still missing her husband, crying, missing her husband. So imagine when A young girl of 20, 24, 25, 30, 40, 45 loses her husband. She was telling me the down times they had in marriage, the good times they had in marriage, but despite that, for the fact that the good times she had with her husband was better than the bad times, she was still missing her husband. She was like, her crown has been taken away. 79 years old woman, 1 year to be 80, still remembers every good time she had with her husband. So you see that a woman's husband is her crown. If at this point you are not valuing that man in your life, a woman that sleeps and wakes up from the same bed with her husband does not know what widows face. Let me put it like that. Any day they look for that man and they did not see, provided it's not an abusive marriage, because what I don't support is an abusive marriage, domestic violence, abusive marriage, provided that marriage is not abusive. Please, I mean, do not let any harm come to that man, because you may be feeling like, let him go now, I'm earning money, I make money. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with money, even if you're earning all the money in the world. By the time you look for him and you did not see him, oh my God, that is when you begin to receive insult from other men that are not even up to. People that are not supposed to talk to you will come and talk to you. Apart from men issue, you will be treated in such a way that missus has been removed. People that are not supposed to even talk in your presence will come and start talking. That is what I'm trying to say. People that cannot enter your house without knocking will now enter, because there is no, that crown is no longer there. They don't have that. That is why you see some widows, they are tough. They develop this strict attitude and tough attitude because they are now living the life of a man and a woman at the same time. If they don't behave like that, men will take advantage of them. People will take advantage of them. That is just all I have to say in this video. I don't know if anybody has learned anything, but I feel like there are some set of people I'm talking to right now that I'm sharing this message. Oh, I said message, sorry, pardon me. I feel like there are some set of people I'm talking to right now in this video. So if you gain value from this video, please let us meet in the comment section, because at this point, if you leave me, I'm going to say things that I am not supposed to say before the camera, because they are just coming up to my head. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and of course, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.